Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Chelsea fans react. We've got a lot to talk about. It's been like I decided to make a video earlier today that was an exciting positive outlook on Chelsea's last 16 tie. We've drawn Bayern Munich, if you've been living under a rock, and this is the first thing you've seen since you decided to come out from that rock. Chelsea got Bayern Munich, first legs in February, second leg away from home, back to the Allianz Arena where we won the Champions League in 2012. People have got mixed opinions about this. I think the majority of people are well aware that it's a very tough draw. Bayern Munich aren't having the best season right now in the Bundesliga, but they do have the best centre forward in the world. Robert Lewandowski. He's been in unbelievable form, and it's kind of laughable to think about Chelsea's defence up against Lewandowski at this point. It is a scary prospect, but we'll deal with that when it comes. There's been a few interesting rumours, transfer rumours with Chelsea, of course, like whenever any player might be leaving a club right now, and if he plays on the wing, the chances are Chelsea are probably going to be linked with him. But I'm going to read out a quote from this player that we're talking about today, and you can make of it whatever you will. So the first thing is this: the food was a serious problem too, as I went from having cereal at breakfast to a plate of eggs and bacon. It was impossible to digest. Now, I don't know about you. If you speak to any sports nutritionist, I'm pretty sure a couple of eggs over a bowl of Cocoa Pops would be some pretty sound advice, and you wouldn't need to pay thousands per month for that one. Jeremy Boga, complaining about his time in England, about how it was impossible for him to adapt to eating bacon and eggs for breakfast because he was used to flipping cereal. This is the same player who was comparing himself at the same level of quality as Eden Hazard, Pedro and Willian at his time at Chelsea, but because he wasn't at the top of the hierarchy, that is the reason why he didn't get a chance at Chelsea. Now, I've taken that quote from Give Me Sport, and I quite frankly, whenever I read it, Chelsea are being linked with Jeremy Boga. Barcelona are being linked with Boga as well. He's a good player, but when I see quotes like that and when I see him coming out with things like that, it immediately screams to me Balotelli. The man's clearly got talent, but maybe he might just think he's a bit too big for his boots. I don't know, but at the end of the day, mate, if you're complaining about bacon and eggs, then there's already something for us to worry about there. So despite that, Jeremy Boga is actually someone that a lot of you guys have said in the comments of my videos that you'd be actually really interested in Chelsea signing. We sold him for 3.5 million to Sassuolo, and we do have a buyback clause on him, which means that he would be an extremely cheap winger that Chelsea could pick up. He's actually doing very well right now in the Italian league. He's playing well, he's scoring goals, he's getting assists as well. So when Chelsea are looking for a winger, Jeremy Boga is a genuine contender to be part of that conversation, particularly if you're looking at Chelsea signing someone in January with the potential to go on and spend some money on an elite player in the summer. So this comment is from Lord Ngolo. I mean, I'm pretty sure this guy loves Kante according to his picture and his name. Willian should go. He is running a lot, yes, but let's be honest, we need a winger with more end product. I would agree with that. He's also 31 years old, can't argue with that one, and will not improve. We need younger wingers. In my opinion, we should sell both Willian and Pedro, then buy Sancho, and activate the buyback clause for Jeremy Boga. Now, we've talked about Jadon Sancho about 1 billion flipping times on this channel, so we're not going to entertain that conversation again today. I'm pretty sure all of you guys know that I absolutely adore Sancho, and I would love to see him in a blue shirt come either January or the summer. Very unlikely, but it's something we'd love to see. Buying back Jeremy Boga would create options for Chelsea on the wing. Is he that elite player signing, apart from the fact that he probably thinks he is? He's not that player that's going to take Chelsea from being a team that are currently challenging for the top 4 to a team that's going to take Chelsea ready to compete with Liverpool next season. Jurgen Klopp has signed a new contract, so any thoughts I had about him taking a sabbatical from football and finally Chelsea get the free rein at running towards the title if Guardiola leaves City and Klopp was to leave Liverpool, that isn't going to happen now. Jeremy Boga coming in, do I think he's a decent player who's having a good season? Yes. Would he be a cheap option? Yes. Is he that elite player though that's going to take Chelsea up an entire level? No, not at this point anyway. To be fair, Raka Abi Zed, he also agrees, just bring back Jeremy Boga from Sassuolo. He's amazingly good. VIK, I personally want to see Boga in the mix to give the attack something to think about. He has what it takes. He has, well, I'm sure he meant to say he has what it takes, even though there is a few things he needs to get rid of from his game. I think for me, the first thing he needs to get rid of is the whole flipping breakfast scenario. If he moves back to England now, what are we going to do? Feed him a vegetarian bowl of asparagus and broccoli instead? Like, I don't don't know what it is this man wants, but clearly there's an issue with the food here in this country. There's also another comment from Kiyu Shah. George, great content. Thank you very much, mate. I do appreciate your kind words. He is also in the boat of bringing back Jeremy Boga. So I think that a lot of you guys would like to see it happen. I'm going to leave a little card on the screen right now. Would you bring back Jeremy Boga? Yes or no? It's pretty simple. Give me an answer by clicking on the card and letting me know what you think. So the next thing I want to address is back to the reaction to the Bayern Munich draw. There's a lot of people that are taking a look at Chelsea's current form and just looking at the fixtures surrounding that game against Bayern Munich. I think we've got Spurs just before we have the game at home at Stamford Bridge against Bayern, and then we've got Villa away, and then the away game against Bayern Munich, and then Man City at home on that Saturday. So within 7 days we've got Villa away, Bayern away, and Manchester City away, at home, sorry. People are looking at this fixture list and thinking, bloody hell, how are Chelsea going to cope with this? Like, this is the worst draw we could possibly get. We've got absolutely no chance in hell. I don't understand this mindset, to be honest. It's well and truly a given right now that Chelsea are not in the best form. And I've said it myself on this channel that is definitely something that needs to be addressed. I can't go with this like over-blinding optimism forever. And I've got to be realistic when it comes to the way that I'm judging our performances, the way I'm judging individuals, the way I'm judging the progression of the team. Form is something that's very temporary. And when Chelsea get put into these kind of matches, in the biggest games of them all, it's when we start to show our steel. And I think that even though this team is extremely young, they're playing for a club that has a DNA of playing in these biggest fixtures. For the last decade, for the last 15 or so years, Chelsea are used to performing in the latter stages of the Champions League. It's only in the last couple of seasons that we've not been making semi-finals. Yes, I know that we had this incredible spine of winners within our team. Cech, Terry, Lampard, Drogba being the four that immediately come to mind. You look at the other fixture that it could have been, and everyone's like digging out Ross Barkley, saying, Ross Barkley is the man that knocks out Ajax, which ruins any team's potential trip for Amsterdam for all of the fun stuff you can do there, like museums and not sure what else. Ross Barkley single-handedly knocked out Ajax and drew Chelsea against Bayern Munich, and people are looking at this whole thing as like, well, if it wasn't for Ross Barkley missing a penalty against Valencia, not only would Ajax have gone through, but Chelsea would have been in the same spot that Valencia were in as the winners of this group, and we'd have therefore drawn Atalanta in the Champions League last 16. Now, that is actually true, hypothetically speaking. If Ross Barkley's penalty goes in, Chelsea would have won this group. That is just the way it is. That didn't happen. And sometimes you just got to deal with what is put in front of you in football. Bayern Munich are a much better side than Atalanta, but Chelsea are in this position, and it's something that at the beginning of the season, whether we came second or first in the group, it was the overall goal. It's what we wanted to achieve. We looked at the group and we saw Valencia, we saw Ajax, and even Lille. They're not a bad side. We only beat them by 1 goal twice. Chelsea looked at this group and knew it wasn't going to be easy. And at the end of it, we've managed to get out of it. And that is with all of the inexperience that we've got. That is without Ruben Loftus-Cheek. That is with a lot of injuries which have never really given us the potential to field our strongest team. Now, if you start adding into this little mixture of things that have gone Chelsea's way, if we're trying to look at this from a positive angle, you add in the ability to be able to spend money in January, whether that is just to bolster the squad to give us more options, to be able to combat fitness issues throughout the season, or if Chelsea really want to push the boat out, and of course we're going to keep talking transfers until the January window shuts come the end of Jan. If we do manage to buy ourselves a world-class or 2 world-class players in the January window, which realistically, I'm talking from optimism today, but there is also a lot of realism in what I'm saying, it's going to be very difficult to be able to sign world-class players in January, which is why I've spoken about the Jeremy Boga deal in today's video, because that is a more realistic signing for Chelsea. You know, if Chelsea do add some players into this team, Bayern Munich, if you look at their league form, Lewandowski's on another level. Coutinho has started to really reach the levels that we saw of him at Liverpool, and it's why Barcelona spent so much money on him. Coutinho's hitting the heights. Gnabry's playing a really, really good season for them as well. We know they've got some quality players, but they're also extremely inconsistent. And I think if you match Bayern's defence up, it's not the most special defence I've ever seen either. Yeah, they've got some great players. Manuel Neuer's not the same keeper that he once was, in my opinion. It is the kind of tie where the experience of the club, and Frank Lampard's been in these situations 100 times as a player. I've just had this crazy idea today that we just give Drogba like a couple of million per month just to mentor the strikers, really, until we actually play this game against Bayern Munich. Not only would it add to the narrative, I just think it would be brilliant for Tammy to work under Didier. That isn't going to happen. That's just a little pipe dream sideline thing that I've been thinking about today since we managed the draw. But what I will say, and it is my message that I've tried to give off today on Twitter in particular, is that people are already writing Chelsea off because we're in a little bit of bad form. Football's a very progressive thing. 5 weeks ago, when we were on that crazy winning run, everyone was going on about how, Chelsea might even mount a title challenge. Yeah, we've been struck down by a bolt of lightning, which is the reality of football, in the sense that results haven't gone our way. We have fallen down the table. We are looking down the barrel of not being in the top 4 come Christmas, which would have been a ludicrous statement to make a few weeks ago, but that can also change again. If we're adding players in January, offloading a few players, balancing the books out again, and putting Chelsea in a favourable financial position, Chelsea come that game against Bayern Munich at home in February, then the tough one, which is the away game in the Allianz Arena, we could be in a totally different place in terms of form, the way we're playing, the tactics we're even seeing on the pitch. Things are going to change in this Chelsea team, and I'd like to, just stress to people that it isn't nice to lose games, and I totally get that. We've not been playing very well at all, but we've got to remember we are a type of football club that do like to turn up in the big games. We do know how to win in the pressure moments when it matters most, and I want people to have this mindset going into these big games over the next couple of weeks, away at Spurs at the weekend, away at Arsenal, looking even further forward to the Champions League games. It's actually mental how we're all getting so excited and so worried about the prospect of facing Bayern Munich, but it's still like more than 2 flipping months away, which is a little bit mental. I know people obviously want to plan their trips, and I'm actually thinking about doing Aston Villa away, then taking a flight to somewhere in Europe. If you've got any recommendations of a match that could be played on the Sunday before the game against Bayern Munich, like, I don't know, maybe like a crazy game somewhere in Europe, like Croatia, Slovenia, somewhere like that, where there could be some crazy ultras, and then I'm wanting to do like a road trip from that place to Munich for the game on Wednesday night. I'm trying to figure out where the best place to go is, so if you're from somewhere in Southern Europe, let me know if your team is playing on the Sunday, the 15th of March, and I might make it out to your gaff for the game. But yeah, I just wanted to address the backlash that's kind of come from getting a draw Bayern Munich in the Champions League, a team that right now no one really gives Chelsea a sniff of beating. But if I want to do anything this week, it is to try and forget what has been a horrible few weeks of results for Chelsea, building up some positivity, going into that game at the weekend, away at Spurs. It's going to be tough. This is what this is. This season has been a roller coaster already. We knew it was going to be a roller coaster, and I want to strap in for the long haul. I don't want to be sat here talking about negative, we're not going to sign anyone, well, season's done, we're falling away. I don't want to talk about that here on this channel. Yes, I'm realistic in the extent that I know things haven't been going very well, but I'm also extremely optimistic that with the way this club like to dig themselves out of bad positions and get results against the run of play, and when people don't expect us to, that is the narrative that I'm talking about until we get to these games come February and March. So yeah, Chelsea draw Bayern Munich in the Champions League. I know I posted my Champions League video earlier today, and a lot of you have let me know your thoughts on that in the comments of that video, but let me know in the comments of this one. What do you think about Jeremy Boga? Is he someone we should be going for? Will he solve any of our issues right now? Let me know. It is looking more and more likely that Pedro's going to leave in January. There's been talks of Aston Villa. I've not really spoke about it much on this channel, but I'm pretty sure Pedro is open to a move away from Chelsea because he's not getting the game time right now under Frank. Thank you for watching this video today. It's been a little bit of a cluster of a few things, putting some of you guys' comments in there as well. Thank you for all of the support. We hit 78,000 subscribers this morning. If you're brand new around here, subscribe to the George Benson Football channel. Brand new videos every single day. I will catch you all later. Goodbye.